In the opening scene of the film, an elderly retired teacher who goes by the name of Nancy, waiting tensely for her hired escort to please her. In the meantime, we watch Leo Grande, a man sipping coffee in a cafe before heading to his hotel room. Before long, Leo shows up, and Nancy lets him in. She accepts when he asks to give her a cheek kiss. Leo gives her a compliment, and after exchanging a few words, they decide to grab a drink. Nancy still feels nervous and finds it hard to talk about herself. She is still not persuaded when Leo tells her that she doesn't have to feel horrible because he handles his work professionally and doesn't feel dehumanized. Nancy voices her worries, but Leo reassures her that he is providing his services voluntarily, just as he does for his other clients, and that she brought him along. When Leo asks what she wants, she agitatedly says she wants to have sex to feel better. She just wants to have sex now and move on. So Leo leans forward to try to kiss her lips, but it doesn't seem to be working. Leo says they should just take things slow and enjoy the process as it unfolds, and advises against it. After her late husband, Nancy goes on to say that she has never experienced an orgasm and that Leo will be her second partner in sex. Nancy worries that she won't give a good performance during sexual activity, but Leo reassures her that he doesn't mind if she continues to feel insecure. Nancy asks him once more if he is compelled to perform this kind of work, to which he replies in the affirmative Leo, after which he suggests they forget about it and head to bed together. But Nancy soon becomes suspicious and asks if he needs to take a medication to get in the mood, to which he replies that he doesn't. When she asks him who the oldest person he has slept with, he replies that it is 82 years old. Nancy is surprised and she feels a sense of relief. She wonders which part of her could be attractive to Leo, and he proceeds to describe and make her feel aroused. However, she gets paranoid again and requests to go to the restroom to change. While Nancy is in the restroom, Leo removes some of his clothes and prepares to wait for her on the bed. Nancy takes her time in the restroom, and Leo gets bored, so he decides to drink some wine and eats chocolate moments later. Nancy comes out and Leo goes to kiss her, but she claims she doesn't like the smell of the chocolate. Therefore, he goes to wash up, and when he returns, she tells him that he should leave and that he doesn't have to bother because she will pay him. Regardless, he inquires why she chose to hire him and questions whether his appearance meets her standards. She concedes that he is indeed attractive. He tells her he knows she must have thought well and considered her actions before hiring him in the first place, and she doesn't have to feel awful. She considers that she had thought about it for weeks before proceeding with the decision, but it doesn't make it less morally awful for her. He convinces her to at least get into bed with him, and she eventually gets on, and they talk further. He goes to help her get drinks and adjusts the room lights to prepare for bed later. Nancy talks about her intimate relationship with her husband being unsatisfactory and starts getting emotional. Leo empathizes with her and gets to their business for the night. In the next scene, Nancy is in the room and she's waiting for Leo. She has ordered him for the second time, and when he knocks and she opens, he tells her he is surprised. She wonders why, since they are in the same room, and she informs him that she had intentionally booked the same room because she doesn't want to start all over again. However, he tells her that he is surprised because she had booked him the second time. He goes to sit and they start to chat. Nancy brings out a list of the things she wants to try, and she wishes that they try out all the activities before the end of the day because she doesn't think she wants to book him again, as he's too expensive to afford the third time without wasting time. Nancy gets ready right away for the first task, which is to appease him down there. While Nancy is away, she goes to answer her phone and continues to assist him in taking off his trousers. Leo is staring at himself in the mirror as he muses over something. A few moments later, Nancy comes back, telling him that her daughter called and suggesting that they resume where they left off. She feels strange, so he helps her by talking to her and playing music for them to dance to. After the call, she gets a call from her daughter and answers it. She talks about the stresses of being a parent, so Leo offers to give her a massage to help her feel more at ease. She asks him if his mother will be disappointed in what he is doing, but he sidesteps the question. She touches his arms and feels repulsed by his muscles because she has always been drawn in by his muscular frame. She can't resist touching him. He grants her request, but then she becomes suspicious once more and asks him to put his clothes back on. Nancy tells Leo that she has always felt self-conscious about her appearance, but he tells her that she should love her body and have more self-confidence. Nancy asks if Leo is his real name, and he responds that it isn't. She then asks if Nancy is his real name, and she answers that it isn't. Nancy then asks about his younger brother, but he doesn't say much and suggests that they roleplay as teachers to lighten the mood. Nancy rejects the suggestion and begins to discuss her work as a teacher, feeling that it is morally wrong for young girls to push themselves on guys. She claims she didn't imagine she would find herself in a similar situation. She describes how the young girls' knee-length skirts were lowered until she could hardly see their teeth, and she thought this was absurd. Leo, on the other hand, believes they are free to do as they please and doesn't feel this way. She informs him that not all men are like him and that they cannot dominate one another. When she asks him if he believes what he is doing is wrong, he responds that it is illegal to pay for sexual relations, but he doesn't take more money for intercourse because he is paid for his business. When Nancy begins to wonder if Leo is conniving to get her to pay for more sessions, he appears to take offense. Leo then gives her what she requests. Nancy tries to unzip his trousers, but becomes hesitant once more and finds it difficult to complete the task. Leo gives her encouragement and hints that she might require a different item. They have a heart-to-heart conversation during which he discusses how his former clients' requests have been handled. Nancy seems to feel better when he tells her that he doesn't pass judgment on any of his clients. Nancy makes the decision to give him a B, and she is successful in doing so. When they finally get together in the following scene, she enjoys it when he falls on her. She praises Leo for his excellent service and talks about her experiences having sex with her husband, wondering what would cause her to have an orgasm. She gives in to her stalking behavior and learns his true name. He is disappointed to hear this, gets dressed up, and asks her politely not to book him again. Rejecting her offer of coffee and friendship, he reminds her of her limits. She asks him why he doesn't want to follow his career and why his mother doesn't know about it, but then he gets angry and leaves. He comes back a few moments later, having dropped his phone while looking for it. He discloses that at the age of 15, he was disowned and left with no alternative but to fend for himself. It's surprising that Nancy and Leo are meeting for coffee for their fourth meeting at the cafe. The waiter recognizes her as one of her former students when they first meet. But she says that she has come to meet a friend when Becky asks why she is here. When Leo shows up, Becky is shocked to see how young her friend actually is. In an effort to keep Nancy safe, Leo explains that he has come to sell his car. They strike up a conversation, and Nancy tells him that she is grateful that he has returned. He tells her that he has told his brother about his line of work and that he is certain that his mother doesn't care much for him because she was indifferent to him a few years ago and just passed by him without saying anything. She tells him that he isn't a letdown, and before leaving, Leo is informed by Becky about Nancy's behavior while she was a teacher. She describes a day when Nancy publicly chastised them, calling them promiscuous and saying they weren't deserving of anything. Nancy contacts Becky, apologizing for her earlier remarks and using the occasion to present Leo. They excuse themselves and go to the room to conduct their business after their talk. When they are through, Leo tries to give her a toy so she can have an orgasm, but he finds out she is touching herself already. She's having her first orgasm and feels content. Nancy tells him it's going to be their last meeting and sends him her best wishes. In response, Leo tells her to be careful and then requests that she exit the room in the last scene. By the end of the film, Nancy is feeling better about her body when she looks in the mirror.